Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Sunday night, huh? Sunday, what is it? June 25th, 2022. How is everyone doing, huh? Well, I'm doing my podcast on this Sunday night. Hmm. I played some golf, today, which was good, although I really sucked, kind of. I mean, I didn't really play well because I was talking to my wife, and then I was preparing some breakfast. I woke up late. And I wasn't sure because the weather was kind of like iffy. Huh? And by the time I got there, I went to Starbucks to get my coffee. And I was looking at the clouds to see if it was going to rain. And, but luckily, the clouds and then no rain, you know, no rain. And it was good. Um, and then, I also did some cooking. I cooked some chicken and rice. Well, without getting into my cooking videos, and if you are into my channel, I'm pretty sure you have seen some of those, right? But the thing was that I actually ordered some like Jamaican food, right? Like some goat, right? And then so the lady delivered it, and then it was so goddamn spicy. Oh my freaking God. I took one bite of that one piece of like goat, right? Jesus Christ. It was so freaking spicy. So then I said, oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. I can't eat this, because it's gonna fucking kill me if I eat. Hmm? Well, it wasn't gonna kill me, but I was gonna like suffer, right? Because I have I have a weak stomach. So then I looked into my, freezer to see if I have anything. I had some chicken, like half of the chicken, half chicken, you know, or so I cooked that and I cooked some, rice in microwave, although my wife doesn't believe that you can cook rice in microwave. In order to believe, you gotta see, right? Anyways, so it was good, something simple, although I think I used a lot of freaking salt. That's not good. But in any case, how was everyone doing, huh? How was your week, huh? How was your weekend? Huh? How was your weekend going? Huh? 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 While I'm doing my podcast, I was also listening to, uh, Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? The astrophysicist, and he had a guest on. This is the fucking problem I have with these astrophysicists, right? So they're talking about these like these binary star system where you have like two stars and the planet is basically revolving around both. How is that possible? Huh? Well, forget that possibility. Let's assume that's a possibility, right? I mean, they're talking about, oh, it's only, well, it's only, possible in science fiction, such as like Star Wars, when Luke Skywalker was at that fucking planet, right? Like, dude, these guys are living in some fucking fictional world in their own fucking minds. But what's the problem, sir? Well, that's the fucking problem, all right? That is the fucking problem. Right? So this astrophysicist, he's talking about, right? Okay, am I going to start my rant on this like negative thought? All right. Well, it's not a negative thought, all right? I'm trying to be skeptical. Okay. Did I say this last time? And when I listen to, I mean, don't get me wrong, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's a great astrophysicist. He has written books on, astrophysics and all that, right? Well, why not? I mean, we should know our astronomy. We should know where the fuck we are, right? In the galaxy. Not that anybody cares. But here is the problem, right? The problem is that, okay, I mean, yeah, okay, you guys just, looked at using the telescope, right? James Webb telescope. I think that's the new one, right? You looked at some of these stars and, star systems, and you found a fucking planet, right? Which is quote unquote in the Goldilocks zone, right? For to be habitable, right? Okay, that's all good, well and good. Then how the fuck are you gonna get there? How the fuck are you going to even send a signal there? I didn't know. I mean, I don't know which planet they were talking about. I don't remember how far planet was. I'm assuming it's at least 10, 20, 80, 100 light years away, right? So if it's at 100 light years away, so you're going to send a signal, right? You're going to send a signal. First of all, how are you going to send a signal to that particular planet, right? Let's say that you are able to do that. Forget sending humans or they are robots, right? Let's say that you can do that and you did that, and it's going to take like 100 years to get there. Because the signal, whatever you send, right? Even my fucking, what do you call the podcast, right? If somebody sends my podcast out the galaxy, right? To that star system, it's going to take like 100 years. I'll be gone, well gone. Man, even if I have children, they are gone, probably, right? So what's the fucking point? Huh? What's the fucking point about talking about these fucking, discovering these exoplanets and this and that? Sounds like a fucking hoax to me. I'm sorry. Right or wrong? I think the only research that the astrophysicists and all these people should do is just in our own star system, which is our sun, our planets. We can't go anywhere else, sir. Man, right? Did you get that? Exactly. So I'm laughing at their conversation. It sounds so fucking like, serious of a conversation. But then in the back of my fucking mind, I'm thinking, what the fuck? I mean, do these people actually even realize what the fuck they're talking about? They're talking about a star system like 1,000 light years away from us, right? Oh, who was saying that the other day? Oh, some like professor at one of the universities in London, right? Oh, what is that? Like fucking what the famous university in fucking UK? Huh? Is that London? Well, I don't fucking idea, right? Oxford, right? Oxford. Oh, Oxford College at university. What the fuck is that? So some professor apparently he's saying that we should basically we should put something in the middle of the galaxy, which can basically act as a beacon for all our signals. Oh, how the fuck are you going to do that, sir? You going to take what? Are you going to like you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and then you're going to take like this beacon out to the fucking middle of the galaxy and put it up there? This is how fucking impractical our scientists are. Can you believe that? Sounds like a fucking hoax to me. In any case, so that's my point that these humans do not fucking understand or they don't want to understand, you know? Or they're just shying away from the reality that, oh, you know what, it's so sexy to talk about like fucking exoplanets and oh, what they look like and oh, possibly it's habitable. Right? Oh, we saw this through the telescope and blah blah blah, right? Oh, we did the calculation, blah blah blah. Oh, all that doesn't fucking mean anything. If we cannot interact with that planet, or if, let's say, that planet has some fucking species they cannot interact with us, what's the fucking point? Huh? Exactly. It is going to take us. Well, forget it. Okay, I don't want to like repeat myself. All right, but you get my point. And this is it's like a hoax. It's like a hoax. You know, they talk about these things, but then, dude, you cannot even get to your own fucking neighborhood planet of Mars, and you're talking about like discovering exoplanets. I hope you're not wasting my fucking taxpayer dollars on that stupid shit, alright? No matter how many degrees you have, don't you fucking understand that there no aliens have ever visited us? We'll never visit another fucking star system in our lifetime. For generations. Because we don't have the fucking capability, alright? We won't have that capability until like maybe 1,000 years. Who the fuck knows? Maybe not even. Oh, it's so bad, we are alone in this fucking galaxy. And how do you, no, no, you have no fucking idea. All right? It's like, a frog in the pond in some fucking, let's say, Europe or somewhere, right? It's like that frog is basically in the pond trying to figure out what's across fucking Atlantic Ocean, right? Well, that frog will never get across fucking Atlantic Ocean. You think that frog will basically waste his energy and his resources and all that on that fucking whatever. Right? No. That's how us human beings have become complicit. And just like, oh, it's so nice to talk about these things. Oh, wait. You know what the practical implications are? Or are you just trying to shy away from these things, huh? Probably, possibly, right? Or you don't care because, that's how you get your paycheck. You know? I'm not trying to be cynical, all right? Or maybe I'm trying to be cynical. I'm trying to be skeptical. I'm trying to be practical, all right? So, as far as we know, and I'm going to conclude my chain of thoughts about that whole fucking subject. On this note, as long as, and we know this, that we have these enormous, vast distances, all right? There's no way we can go anywhere. Or same thing the other way around. There's no way somebody will get to us physically. It's fucking impossible. All right? So that's it. That's it. Let's just fucking close that chapter right there, huh? All right, so let's talk about something positive, huh? What are we talking about, sir? What positive? Oh, I had my lunch with my ex-colleagues yesterday, right? And it was nice to see all of them. One gentleman was missing. He couldn't make it, but we went to that Spanish tapas place. Oh my freaking god! Kind of sounds like bourgeois, right? Bougie. Well, the food was not bad actually. Something was spicy, which I didn't like, but pretty much, it was like, you get a paella, right? Like freaking like a, you know, it's like a bowl or it's like a pan of like rice and whatever. I mean, I going to talk about food today? No, but it was nice, and I and then I drove back, and that's it, and then that's it. This sound, that's my fridge. You guys hear this? In any case, so listen. Um, what are we talking about tonight, huh? Anything particular? No, I'm just gonna talk randomly as I always do. Nothing particular. Oh, one thing I have to say that my father is coming, right? I had to buy him a ticket, which I finally did. So he's gonna spend a few days with me before I leave for Turkey. Oh shit. I'm glad I reminded myself that I had to get the visa for Turkey, right? Yes. So, what else is going on? So yeah, I had to do that, and then I sent him and my sister the itinerary, right? He's gonna spend some few days with me, and then I'm gonna leave, and then I'm gonna leave him here. He's gonna just basically stay at my place here, right? Um, and then he's gonna go back at the end of August. All right, so what else is going on? I mean, it's like, okay, so this is what I gotta say, because I got kind of worked up on fucking Twitter last night. Why, sir? And I'm like, remember the whole thing with that fucking, which we call the whole thing with that submarine, that sub that actually exploded, right? It's like a bunch of lunatics, to be honest with you. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And may their souls rest in eternal peace. But what I'm saying is that they basically just gripped the whole fucking planet by getting so much attention when we have a fucking war going on, right? In fucking Ukraine, all right? Oh, it exploded. Okay, so then what the fuck? I mean, they made a fucking mistake, engineering mistake, whatever the fuck it was, right? Who gives a fuck, right? And on top of that, us, the US, where did that happen? Where the fuck did that happen, by the way? All right? And on top of that, every one of the fucking countries, you know, are looking at us for like rescue. Why? You think we have like fucking coffers full of fucking money to spend to actually send our fucking rescue teams to rescue these lunatics, gazillion dollar, who go on these extra, extravagances, right? Did I even say that right? I mean, that's how fucking amazing it is. And that's just, I'm like, okay, so how much money we spent on these rescue missions, huh? And where does that money come from? Taxpayer dollars, all right? And that's exactly why we keep raising the fucking debt ceiling because we just keep printing fucking dollars without even considering where all that money is going to come from. Isn't that fucking amazing? Just like people like get so fucking emotional without even understanding the facts, without even using the logic. That's the whole fucking problem with this world these days. Oh, the sub with like five people is down there, and the half of the fucking news is on that one. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? Everybody's like chiming in. Oh, they should have done this. Oh, it's 2 miles. Oh, oh, it was made of fiber. What? Fuck all of that. Okay, I don't give a fuck. Right? They made a fucking stupid mistake, and that's it. So they're faced. And then we had to basically spend this fucking, you know, effort and money to rescue them. Okay. Am I gonna turn my podcast into like a really rant, like a real fucking rant on like whatever? No. Well, let's talk about something positive. Okay. So I'm looking forward to meeting my wife in Turkey. I miss her. Yeah. All right. No matter how much we're gonna fight, but I miss her and I love her. All right. That's what relationships are. That's how it works. All right. And she's in the mountains, and she was telling me that it's too fucking hot. And I'm like, holy shit. They need a big swimming pool in the town that she's in now. The town that I grew up in. You know. Well, that's a luxury for that town, sir. Because, hardly people get hardly electricity there, Although nowadays I think it's okay because it's summer and there's like glacier fed water is everywhere. So the turbines are running, right? All right. So, without getting too personal and all that, and I'm also uh, she's having fun, with her family and blah blah. Blah, right? All right. So, okay. So, what are we talking about? No, 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 nothing. But I don't want to talk about anything. I don't have any fucking agendas, right? No, no agendas, and that's actually better. Uh, tomorrow is Monday, and is tomorrow also a holiday? Some sort of a whatever. It seems like every other fucking Monday is some sort of a holiday. Not for us. Um, so golf was okay. I mean, it was just like, oh my God. Uh, I went to the nine hole here, Skybase. Beautiful weather, beautiful fucking weather, and I was taking pictures, it's like clouds and then the sun is basically beaming from behind the clouds, and it's like beautiful. All right, everyone. So, how is everyone doing? Oh, so okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about, right? So people with like extreme depression and PTSD, right? Who have gone through trauma in their life, especially the military people, right? Who have basically who have done things and in the name of the war, in the name of whatever the fuck, right? It's extremely hard to get out of that fucking PTSD. You have no idea. So the only way I think, and I was talking to my colleagues yesterday, the only way to get out of that fucking mindset is to get over that is, I think FDA has approved a psychedelic based drug, which actually works, I think. I think it's based on ketamine, and then the other one is based on MDMA, currently, right? So yeah, I think psychedelics are coming back, and they're gonna come back as a means of therapy more than like drop in, drop out. What the fuck it was Timothy Lear was saying at that point, back in the 60s and 70s, right? I think that's what's going to happen. That psychedelics are going to be used for therapy, which is great, actually. You know what? Yeah, it's great because finally, us human beings are taking the next step in our evolution, right? I'm not saying that, we should be using psychedelics like in the morning with our coffee, but hey, listen, if you're taking an SSRI, right? If you're taking an SSRI every day, I understand, SSRIs won't give you the trip that the psychedelics will give you. But basically, psychedelics are like the what do you call it, nature form of like therapy, right? Am I like advocating psychedelics? Well, listen, if you are a military person with PTSD, severe PTSD, right, then maybe that's it. Maybe that's how you can get the fuck out of that mindset, you know? Because sometimes I get depressed, right? But I'm not. I mean, I haven't seen any shit like real shit that I ever deal with in my life, right? Yeah, I have PTSD from like fucking 9/11 and this and that, right? I said that last time. I'm sorry. And then the fucking COVID, right? That's also gives me a fucking PTSD. It's like, oh shit, I'm afraid that if they're gonna like close down the fucking city or something like that, and then that's gonna fucking like put me back into that fucking hole where, like isolation and this and that, right? And then fuck that, you know. And so I'm thinking that, yeah, maybe you should use that therapy. I mean, isn't government paying for that, especially for veterans? You know, for some reason, whatever the fuck it is, right? Yeah, by their own making, or they drafted themselves into these fucking wars, right? Especially Middle East and that, right? Whatever the fuck, right? And now you can't get out of that fucking mindset because you saw some shit, and it's like, dude, you gotta get the fuck out of that fucking mindset. And how you do it, but you can't do it. You take antidepressants, you take whatever SSRIs, and they don't fucking work. Yeah, maybe you should go do ayahuasca. All right. Well, that's ayahuasca. I mean, I did ayahuasca, and without any fucking preparation, which sucks. You have to be prepared. It's not. That's not like having a fucking beer. All right. Because that actually is a some sort of an otherworldly experience. You feel that. Of course, it's inside you, and nothing is actually happening outside, but it opens up your fucking mind to these fucking whatever, right? It opens up your, I think, subconscious, and it lets you see your fears and see your whatever joys, and right. But it doesn't let you see the future, by the way. You know. Maybe some psychedelics do, but in any case, so I don't want to talk about psychedelics either. All right. I just said that if you are a veteran with severe PTSD, listening to my podcast, which I don't believe anybody out there would, then maybe you should try that psychedelic therapy. All right. And that may actually work for you. All right. Instead of being fucking miserable every night, right? I mean, yeah, sometimes I mean, I get depressed too sometimes, but I'm not, again, I just fucking watch movies and shows when I'm like, and I just try to like sleep, just close the world, outside world, and, I'm not just in my own fucking world. And yeah, that's real, people, and I think I said this, that, especially, people, many of us who basically were doing this 9 to 5 thing every fucking day. I understand we're doing that to pay the fucking bills and survive, but then if at the end of the day, or if at the end of the fucking week, if you are not looking forward to some sort of a happiness, some sort of a fucking satisfaction in your life, then what's the point of doing all this? And that's another fucking you know, disaster. Am I turning my podcast really into like something really negative? I'm sorry. I'm saying because, I've gone through that, I've gone through that, and life is just, you know, it's just, and experience. Life is just an experience, and you learn by doing things, and and then just where you are, that also actually kind of like affects you, affects, I mean, in the environment, obviously, you're shaped by the environment and the people around you, and this and that, right? And so then what are you besides the environment and the people, and they call you, you have a name, you have a body, you have, I think I had to be with Joe Rogan on that part. When I say I had to be with Joe Rogan means, yeah, at some point in time, I think our body is basically just creating this, like, this butterfly, right? Which is actually our self. And that self is actually, well, you can call it whatever the hell you want, and that self is actually, excuse me, is what you are actually, that self is really what you are, you know, not your job and not your whatever, right? And oh my freaking God, Jesus, excuse me, sorry. That self is basically, I think it's your like, your like non-physical being, and that non-physical being is, is sometimes it tells you things like, for example, I sometimes think about things, and it tells me that, listen, this is not who you are. Maybe you are acting out of like some impetus, and that's not what you are, some input. And so the self is, the self, I think, is our, our, what do you call, our aura. Aura, is that even a real word, aura? Am I saying that right? But that self is within us, within us, and that self, I think, is actually the the butterfly. That's the butterfly. And what the hell am I? What am I going with this? Where am I going with this? Okay, so I guess I'm trying to figure out who the hell I am, right? So yeah, I was born, on this fucking planet, and then I know how everything started up, all the way back to like fucking, the molecules, hydrogen and carbon, and, all these elements were formed, and how they actually interacted under the circumstances such as, sunlight and water and moisture, right? How they actually became, a living organism, right? Amino acids and all that, which are the building blocks of life, right? I mean, I understand that part. That's where we all come from. That's how our body has been formed, and and our body's machinery, became extremely complicated through time, and that's why we can think, and unlike other fucking animals which are just there to fuck and eat, and like that's it, right? But we think about other things, and maybe we're thinking about other things too much, and then they realize that at the end of the day, oh shit, you know what? We are fucking animals, right? All right. So yeah, all that is good, and so then the question becomes, all right, okay, so then what? I mean, what else? I mean, is there more? Is there more to this in life than just like, even like writing a book about whatever the fuck, right? Autobiography. right? Oh, this is what we were talking about yesterday. Okay, let's not talk about yesterday first. So just stay on the freaking topic, all right? Stay on the freaking topic, and then the freaking topic is that you can basically write a book, you can do whatever you want, and then at the end of the day, what's the whole fucking is this it? I mean, you write a book, you publish it, and people read it, and then they're like, oh, this is an interesting book. It's like, oh, it's a science fiction. What is this like? It's about like fucking Star Wars or what the fuck it is, right? Or Blade Runner, whatever. Like, oh, Electric Sheep, Dream of Androids. Philip K. Dick's novel, right, or whatever the fuck it was, right? They made a movie, Blade Runner, right? In any case, so is there more to this fucking life? Is there something beyond? Are we part of some sort of a cosmic fucking, experiment by some fucking aliens and they're just basically watching us from some other fucking, realm or dimension, they're just looking at us, or maybe they are here. They are right here with us, but we can't see them because they have the fucking cloaking device. Is that what it is? I don't fucking know. Right. But that's that's what the South, when I say the South, the butterfly wants to know. Right? And for that, you have to actually, like, didn't I say this last time that you have to actually do meditation or something, something otherworldly you have to do, whether you do psychedelics, other than if you're using psychedelics for therapy. So then what is that, beyond our fucking day-to-day life, what we see through our senses, through our eyes, and what we smell and what we hear. Right? Is there anything other beyond this fucking, what do you call the reality that we are in, right? I of the school of thought that yes, there is, but problem is that our senses and the way we have been actually programmed. All right, this is the problem. All right. Well, it's a problem, um, especially if you're trying to basically uh, figure out, you know, figure out other realms and realities beyond ours through normal senses, right? Even your thoughts and even your, whatever your intellect and all that, right? But the problem is that I don't think our intellect is able to define those wrongs. Because what does that even fucking mean, right? To like experience another round, right? See, that's the thing. What does that even fucking mean, right? So that's where I think the what, like 40 years of meditation comes. I mean, I don't have any fucking like, what do you call patience or discipline to just meditate for 40 years and trying to figure out something, I don't have that fucking patience. So then should I take this shortcut, which is like take a psychedelic, heroic dose of psychedelic and then just figure out something? Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm not, well, okay, well, I'm not that strong, you know. Yeah, I've done ayahuasca, but doesn't mean that, I'm strong to just like take a heavy dose of like whatever, right? To catapult myself into that other realm. Although, people who have taken something like, what do you call the DMT, right? DMT. And that can actually catapult you into that dimension. And then you're like, probably realize, holy shit, what is this? Is this even real? And that's the most fascinating thing about life. I think that, you can experience all these things, which are otherworldly. They're not like, you know, they're not like a day-to-day experience. Now you could say that, oh, beautiful music and dance that makes you just dance and just makes you feel good, and it's like, oh my God, so beautiful. Our aroma, right? Smell of something like, or like perfume, not perfume. I'm not talking perfume. You go on a date and you smell perfume off a woman's body. I'm not talking about, right? Just like, so all those I think are, and then when you are having an orgasm, hmm, they fucking feel your joy, like, oh my God, right? So all those things I think are some sort of sexual experience, and those are actually the, what do you call, those are actually like foods, or the realms of the self, the real self, not the body. Right? Yeah, you feel them through your body, through your senses and all this, right? But then if you don't want to do psychedelics, you don't want to like fucking, meditate for 40 years, 30 years, 15 years, whatever, right? To figure out. Then just think about like beautiful music and dance, and then it just takes you to a different fucking like dimension, right? And so yeah, and then these are, I think, like the low levels of experience of like the selves, like kind of like the impetus for self, like kind of the input or the food for the self, right? I'm not going to use the word soul because I don't know. I don't know what that means, right? So, without like going in fucking circles, I think that's what I'm doing as we speak. Uh, I think self always seeks something beyond, something beyond, other than like, you know, if you are in a beautiful place, like for example, my wife was the other day, she sent me pictures and photos and videos up in the mountain. It's like mesmerizing, right? Beautiful. And you are in the awe of like nature, right? Oh my God, so beautiful, right? And so that's also an experience for self. That's why we seek, wilderness. We seek like, beautiful, like what, landscapes and mountains and whatever, right? And so, yeah, so these are like low level experiences, are foods for like the self, because the self becomes happy when it sees something that's actually like beyond, like day to day, and that's the most fascinating thing, that the self actually, oh, some people say, oh, you know what, if somebody gives me like a fucking $1 million, oh, myself would be so happy. I don't think so. Yeah, you'll be satisfied in terms of your financial whatever worries, right? But I don't think that would make you any like much happier, as if you were not a gazillionaire, right? But you could still go to fucking Rocky Mountain National Park up in Colorado, right? And then have the same fucking experience that anybody could have, right? Except you are not Jeff Bezos on a fucking $500 million yacht with a girlfriend, right? But I think, you can still like experience things in life that you feel that, oh, I can only experience that if I have this, if I have this much money, if I have that much whatever, and this is where we all fucking lose time. We always are like fucking looking for something. We say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do this after that happens. which is bullshit. Total nonsense, fucking nonsense. All right, because that's how I have actually tried to live my life. Oh, I'm gonna get married after I get my green card, or I'm gonna get married only after I get my citizenship. Practically, yeah, and that's understandable. But what if you never got your fucking citizen? What? Well, I mean, that shit we have basically created these fucking like constraints and restraints for ourselves. You know. Oh, okay. So what do you want to do? Let's say, like what would you like to do, right? If you didn't have to worry about like, getting up in the morning to go to fucking work, right? If you didn't have to like worry about money or finances and this and that, right? And and you don't have any issues with your relationship, you're not like fucking Tiger Woods, who actually had to basically give half of his fortune to his wife, right? When they broke up, right? You're not going through that. So then, what would you like to do? You know? I think I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of superficial because then I always say to myself, oh, you know what I want to do? Maybe I should just try comedy. Maybe I should get on the fucking mic and just talk shit, right? And then what? Okay, first of all right, is that what you want to do? You know, sometimes I feel like maybe I should write something. I'm like, no, I'm just too fucking lazy to write. I mean, I'm doing this fucking podcast, all right, which I didn't even feel like doing. But then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I mean, work. Didn't feel like working either. So that's the question, right? So if you ask that question, just like I just asked myself, right? Okay, so then what is it that you want to do? Well, listen, it could be as simple as, listen, man, listen, I just need to get a relationship. I just need to like need somebody in my life, and same thing for ladies, women. Could be simple as that, right? If there's something you feel like a void in your life, right? Then you should work on it definitely. I mean, why not? Why the fuck not? I mean, what are you waiting for? You become like a fucking gazillionaire, and then you're gonna find somebody, huh? How about you do both at the same time, huh? So these are the things that nobody told me, like, I'm old now, I just had to basically learn all these things by doing, and then, obviously I made mistakes, and in terms of like, not being on the right path in my life, and just like, what am I doing, but then, there were a lot of hurdles for me as well. I'm not trying to justify my own shortcomings, right? But I'm saying that it wasn't easy being here in America after 9/11. I think I beat that topic to death. I don't want to talk about that anymore, right? So yeah, of course, love was there. There was love. Otherwise, if there was no love here and there's no support from like somebody like my sister or other people, right? Then I would have probably just said, fuck this, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm not making any money, I'm not saving any money, I'm just like fucking wasting money on partying, trying to chase women, I'm just trying to. I'm talking about like years and years ago, all right? And so then what's the point? I mean, what's this like mundane life, it becomes a mundane life, and many of us, I think, are still living that life, and I'm sorry. It's not a fun life to like live like that, especially if you're coming home, you work hard and you're coming home and like, especially like, alone, and every day is like that for you, and it's like, oh my fucking God, And so that's not, that's really not life. I mean, I'm not talking about that you should get the most beautiful woman or whatever, the most handsome guy in your life or whatever, right? Or, you know, relationship is your problem or that's the only problem you have, but you gotta like get out of there, and get out of that fucking mindset. And that's the hardest thing. I'm telling you, that's the hardest because yeah, I had some issue. I had to basically deal, especially with my fucking, my citizenship, because travel was a problem for me, outside the fucking country. But without getting into, details of all that, that's all gone, past, sir. Move on, So that's what I'm trying to do, and the moving on part is the hardest part. All right, and that's why, I keep, you know, thinking about like my own childhood, especially in my early teen years and up until like 18. It's like, that's that whole part of your life, that actually shapes sort of what you're going to become, and that actually is what I feel that, there was some sort of a void in my life, and especially I didn't have any like guidance, like, from my father really, and that just like, you know, makes me feel like I just, I just did whatever the fuck, and it's like, and then that's probably why I don't have a lot of discipline, I'm not saying that. I mean, I work hard and all that, but on the other hand, just like, I don't, and on the other hand, then I don't care about, for example, other things in life. It's like maybe I just become nonchalant, and then I look at negatively on things and prospect of life, and I'm like, okay, this world has fucking hated me, so then what the fuck am I gonna love this world? But I think, there's love out there, okay? So you always cannot be a fucking dickhead and like, angry and like, and or narcissistic and feel like, world revolves around you, it doesn't work like that, you have to just like take it easy, take it easy. Who gives a fuck? That's the kind of attitude I think I need to have, because sometimes I get too like fucking worked up about things, you know. Well, some things are genuine, and I feel like I'm some sort of a perfectionist, and which is actually not good, it's not good because this world is not a perfect fucking place, and I then become this like idealistic person, and and then realize that, oh yeah, well, you are too idealistic, but how about your own fucking flaws, sir? So I have to basically look at those as well. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, we are human beings, we all fucking make mistakes, and and the and the key is to basically just be over that, be over that. It's over, it's gone. Okay, who cares? That's the attitude, unless something is bothering you. Unless something is bothering you from your past, then you should talk to a therapist. Oh, who are you preaching this choir? I mean, uh, this whole idea, sir. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, see the problem for me to basically talk to therapists, because they're so fucking obvious. Like, oh man, yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Or do you want to talk about something like specific? They'll say, oh, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, I had this issue with my father. I was talking to him when I was like 12, 13, 14, 15. And okay, so then what do you want to do about this now? That's what they fucking did, that they would ask you. And like, I don't know. I mean, isn't that what your role is to tell me? You know? So that's why, I just like, I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I know I have those issues, those lingering fucking, like, thoughts in my fucking subconscious. Sometimes, they surface and I realize, this, that guy, whatever, this, whatever, right? Oh my God, I didn't have a lot of whatever, guidance. I'm not talking about money. We never had any fucking money anyways. I mean, we were poor. We had a house, I mean, yeah, but, which was built from a loan that my father got and all that without getting into fucking like details. But I think the money part, I mean, the money part is forget it. I mean, money you can earn, you can lose, and this and that, right? I think what you got to give your like if you have kids, what you got to give your kids is some sort of genuine. They're like genuineness, And that's very important. That's extremely important. Genuineness of like, talk to them openly. Listen, listen, man, our lady, this is what, this is how our life is, and this is how we have to, live, and things are better, and then we'll do better, and then we'll get better, right? The fuck am I saying? You get my point. So, an honest and open dialogue, between you and your kids, depending on their age. You can't talk about these things if you have a good kid who is like 6 years old, all right? You can't say that. However, the other fucking problem, and I was, was discussing with my colleagues, is that these days, man, it's raising a kid. I feel like it's not easy, you know. With what's happening, the fuck is going on in the world. But I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Listen, I'm gonna raise my kid if I'm gonna have a kid the way I want. All right? Nobody can fucking tell me how to raise my kid. All right? Unless I'm doing something that's actually really like, over the board. No, no, nobody can fucking tell me how to raise my kid. All right? So that's out of the fucking question. So that's it. I don't give a fuck about like what these fucking assholes are doing out there, to these kids. Um, yeah, which is wrong, actually. I'm not saying that I don't care, but that's wrong to actually categorize these kids who are under 18 as whatever. Cis, not, I mean, oh, they're gay or they're lesbian. Oh, fuck you. Who the fuck are you to decide that, huh? They're kids. They're kids. For fuck's sake, they're kids. All right? Why are you indoctrinating them? This kind of fucking ideology, fucking stupidity. All right? Oh, because you want them to be like you? Fuck you. They are not even mature. A human brain actually develops as old as up until you're 25. All right? And I'm not bullshit. And you're asking, you are basically categorizing these kids. Oh, this is his trait. This is her. These are her traits. So she gotta be like gender, whatever, right? Fuck you. That's your own fucking bullshit ideas, all right? They're kids. They're fucking kids, all right? All right, okay. So without getting too worked up, I mean, ranting too much, right? That's affecting you. Well, I don't give a fuck, dude. I mean, I'll raise my kid the way I want. All right? Nobody can fucking say anything to me. All right? So with that rant, I think we should close the podcast. It's already 11 o'clock at night on Sunday. It's already 1 hour. I think I did the 1 hour, right? Total 1 hour. So yeah, with that said, I will see you all next weekend or Monday.